TomoNews presents Getting Kicked Off the Plane.
Now that's what you call silent but deadly. All passengers on an American Airlines flight were evacuated on Sunday afternoon after someone farted so hard it made people sick. An unknown passenger reportedly dropped a stink bomb so bad that it warranted an actual deplaning. The cheese cutting apparently made passengers on the plane feel nauseated and overcome with headaches. The plane quickly landed at Raleigh-Durham International Airport, North Carolina, and passengers were released from the aircraft. Luckily, no casualties were reported from the windy incident. One big question, though. What in the world did that stinker eat? Okay, now chuckles aside, farts, flatus, or flatulence can actually make you sick. Backdoor breezes are comprised of minor sulfur gas components, including hydrogen sulfide. And depending on the amount, it can cause headaches, nausea, skin, and/or eye irritation. So keep it in your pants or go to the bathroom or something. Man.
Couple attack flight attendant threatened to blow up plane. It's a small wonder there aren't more homicidal flight attendants out there, because after dealing with flyers like these, anyone would be tempted to load up a semi-automatic rifle. Last month on a Thai Air Asia flight from Bangkok, Thailand to Nanjing, China, a young Chinese couple made headlines after attacking their flight attendant and threatening to blow up the plane. The flight crew probably realized the pair were troublemakers when they boarded the flight and demanded new seats. Another pair of travelers obligingly switched seats with them, and that was one problem solved. When dinner time rolled around, the woman asked the flight attendant to cook the instant noodles she'd brought with her because she'd been too cheap to shell out the $3 for the in-flight meal. When the flight attendant returned with the noodles plus boiling hot water, the woman threw the noodles back in her face. The man then started yelling about how he was going to blow up the plane. The Thai Air Asia flight was forced to return to Bangkok, where police were waiting for the deranged couple. The woman, after being forced off the flight, promptly fainted once she was inside the airport, forcing Thai police to carry her into the interrogation room. The man ranted the entire way that he didn't speak Thai, and nothing authorities could do to him would force him to speak Thai. During the interview, the woman claimed she suffered from depression, which was what made her attack the flight attendant. The man didn't offer any excuses, but reminded them that he couldn't speak Thai. Netizens were hoping the couple would be on a no-fly list upon their return. Others don't even want them to return to China since they've lost face for their country.
Q2. Q very much. Don't fly with us again.
Professor from China attempts self-upgrade on plane. A Chinese passenger who is also an assistant professor from UPenn attempted to upgrade himself on a United Airlines flight with embarrassing results. The flight was bound from Shanghai to New York City and was delayed due to the passengers' antics. Professor Lu Yong allegedly attempted to sneak into first class, but was quickly ejected by flight attendants, and he retreated to the Economy Plus section. When flight attendants in that section realized that he was in the wrong seat, they attempted to request that he move to his assigned seat in economy. Lu then threw an epic temper tantrum, eventually ending up on the floor, and refused to move. 3 Shanghai airport police officers were called on board, but when Lu still refused to move, the officers resorted to physically dragging him off the flight. Lu can be heard screaming that the officers are ruining his new clothes as he's unceremoniously dragged off the plane. During the process, he kicked the officers, causing minor injuries. He's been charged with disrupting public service, which can result in a maximum of 3 years in jail. All that for an Economy Plus seat?
Man barred from BA flight for excessive layering. A British man attempting to get from Keflavik Airport in Iceland back to England was arrested for trying to board a British Airways plane while wearing a ton of clothes. Ryan Hawaii Williams was at the BA counter trying to get out of paying an additional bag fee, so he did what anyone would do when confronted by a douchey airline. He put everything on. By everything, we mean all the clothes that wouldn't fit in his checked baggage. That's 10 shirts and 8 pairs of pants. And how was Hawaii rewarded for his ingenuity and out-of-the-luggage thinking? BA denied him a seat and called the cops on him. Then things really got hopping after Popo maced Ryan and introduced him to the ground after he refused to leave. Hawaii tried the next day with EasyJet, which turned out to be not that easy. He finally made it back on a Norwegian airline. BA and EasyJet have reportedly refunded him. Lesson of the day: airlines suck. Passenger biting traveler causes plane to divert. An LA to New York JetBlue flight diverted on Sunday due to a snappy passenger. The unnamed passenger reportedly just started biting and attacking other passengers out of nowhere. He's believed to have known them. According to CBS Los Angeles, people on board, including doctors, tried to help the man, but the dude just kept on biting, munching, and gnawing. That's until they kicked him off somewhere over Vegas. Just kidding. They landed in Sin City, got rid of him, and then were on their merry way again.
Southwest Airlines kicks Muslim woman off plane. A Muslim woman from Maryland claims she was booted off a Southwest Airlines flight because of her religion. Hakima Abdullah, who is of Somalian descent, was traveling between Washington, D.C. and Seattle last Wednesday. After a layover in Chicago, Abdullah found she was seated between two men. For religious reasons, Abdullah felt uncomfortable in her seat, so asked one of the men to swap. But a Southwest Airlines flight attendant allegedly intervened, telling her she couldn't move seats and would have to get off the plane. The Council on American Islamic Relations said Southwest had humiliated Abdullah and caused her considerable stress. The council said the incident was part of a trend of Muslims being removed from flights in the U.S. for no apparent reason. It called on Southwest to issue an apology, refund Abdullah's ticket, and send the flight attendant to diversity training. Abdullah was booked on another Seattle-bound flight later that day. Southwest said proper procedures were followed throughout the incident. In news about airline absurdities, this one really takes the cake. JetBlue put a damper on a Jersey family's Las Vegas birthday bash when they decided to boot them off a flight over a cake. The Burks had brought the buttercream confection with them as part of their carry-on and initially stored it in the overhead bin. When a flight attendant told them they had to move it, they stashed it in under the seat. A second flight attendant berated her colleague and then accused Dad Cameron Burke of being non-compliant. Her behavior struck him as irrational, so he asked if she'd been drinking. She stormed off and another flight attendant asked them to leave the plane, prompting tears from the Burke kids. Port Authority police was called on board, and one officer can be heard saying the family had done nothing wrong. Still, JetBlue reps ordered everyone to deplane in order to get them off the flight.
It's all right, baby boy. I know. Exactly. For cake?
We're just here.
A cake.
We were told that there's supposed to be actually be taken. Right here, I don't see any wrongdoing.
Thank you.
Committed, okay? So
I moved the cake. It's a birthday cake.
you were not. Okay. All right.
Thank you so much, sir.
No one's in any trouble. I just need to have your ID, just for a report.
Sure, no problem.
Unfortunately, it got reported to us. No one did anything wrong, okay?
No problem.
All right, everyone's gonna be okay, and they're just gonna, unfortunately, they're gonna have to rebook everyone, and that's
Rebook everyone?
And this is what we're trying to avoid. That we wish we.
This is JetBlue?
It's JetBlue, so.
JetBlue. Wow, here you go.
Thank you. No one's in any. No, buddy, you're okay, all right? Don't cry. It's all right.
Thank you, Officer Chen. What's your name, Chen?
Hold on. Everyone, stay seated, okay? Everyone, just stay seated.
Thank you very much.
Everything's gonna be okay.
Don't worry, you'll be all right.
They were refunded in full and ended up taking a United flight to Sin City the next day. Burke is thinking of suing and wants the rude flight attendant fired. But JetBlue is standing their ground, claiming Burke refused requests to remove the cake, yelled and cursed at the crew, and made false accusations about one attendant's fitness to fly. More airline drama. American Airlines landed in the hot seat Friday after a flight attendant went full rage on a young mother, then got into a screaming match with another passenger. The woman boarded the Texas-bound flight with a stroller, which wasn't allowed in the cabin. A male flight attendant violently yanked the stroller away, hitting the woman's head and barely missing her twin babies. A video shot during the aftermath shows the woman at the front of the plane crying and asking another flight attendant to give her stroller back. As she's being consoled, a male passenger stands up and asks for the aggressive employee's name. The passenger tells the attendant off when he shows up moments later and is immediately warned to stay out of it. The man confronts the attendant, who repeatedly taunts him to try and deal a hit. The two nearly come to blows, but luckily somebody else intervenes.
Hey, bud. You do that to me and I'll knock you flat.
Stay out of this. Come on. Come on. Bring it on.
Try that with me. I'll knock you out. Well, I'm not going to kill you. Yeah. Go with us where we're going.
Come on. You don't know what the story is.
I don't care what the story is. No one's hurt a baby. It was not an accident.
American Airlines has been very apologetic about the incident, suspending the flight attendant and upgrading the mother and her children to first class on another flight. Internet reactions to the people involved in the drama have been mixed, but the airline has emerged mostly unscathed due to effective damage control. Hope you're taking notes there, United.